Hey guys, you're here with Denitra, and today I want to do a sort of like a review on some Tim Holtz Distress ink products. And I've got some markers, I've got some of the ink pads, I've got re-inkers, and I've only got one paint dauber, and I'll tell you about that when I get to it. And then I've got some of the Distress watercolor cardstock, which is really nice quality. It's really thick, so I'll do the paper first. This is 20 sheets. It's really thick. One side is textured, and the opposite side is smooth. I don't like using the textured side for really detailed stamps, because it's kind of hard to see in a way. So I use the back side for like small detailed stamps. I will say though that sometimes if you do too many layers on the back side, your paper can start to peel up just a teeny bit. Not enough to ruin the image, but when I notice that it's the paper starting to kind of peel away, you kind of have to stop. And that's not a good thing for me, because if you watch my coloring videos, or if you've been following my YouTube videos for a while, you'll know that I love to just pack on color and colored layers and layers. So this isn't good for too many layers, but it is really thick. It doesn't bleed through. I haven't had anything bleed through, except for last night. I had just a teeny bit right there bleed through, and that color was red, and I think red is one of those colors that you're just gonna have an issue with it. I colored this image last night with the Distress re-inkers, and I used the back side. I could have used the front side for this, but I had colored on the back side for another image, and I had a little bit of space left, so I just went ahead and stamped and just tried to use up the rest of that paper. I get something. Okay, so this is a gorgeous girl stamp. Her name is I don't know the name of the stamp. It's called a Little Bunny, or I Love You Little Bunny, or something like that. I give her really dark skin. Here you can see where the water pooled a little bit. That's the thing about the Distress inks, is they react with water. So it's okay. So like watercolor paint reacts with water. Obviously, it smoothed out the paper. But with the Distress inks, it kind of pulls up. So if I put a drop of water here, it'll almost kind of erase. You understand the ink that I dropped water on. I don't want to mess up this image, because I think she came out really, really well. But for her skin, I use Walnut Stain and Vintage Photo. I love Walnut Stain. As dark as that color is, it can smooth out to a really pale, like khaki color. And let me get a pointer here. I use Walnut Stain for this light color here. And I also used it for the dark color that you see. In re-inker form. I think re-inker is good to use when you want your color to be as dark as it's gonna be. Like, it's very potent, I guess. And I mean, this goes a long way. I know Vintage Photo for at least 7 years, and this bottle is still pretty full. So your re-inkers will go a long way. So I love the re-inkers. I would get those for watercoloring, especially, even if you don't stamp with them. You could also use it to distress your paper by using one of these little blenders, and all you have to do is just put a little bit on like a acrylic block, and put your pouncer in there, and then you can still distress the edges of your cardstock. So this could go a long way. with the reinkers. I like the ink pads. I used to get the ink pads a lot. This one is very old. I've had this one a really long time. It says 2004 on the back. I don't know. Let's see. This is a newer color, so this says 2012. This is Peacock Feathers. So I don't know. This one's very old, I know for sure. So you want to... so I think ink pads are okay. But I don't stamp with them, as far as using a stamp on them, not too much. So the reinkers are good. They are about $5.99. They're glass bottles, so they look pretty cool, and the colors are like really potent. This is Worn Lipstick. It's a red, but you can feather it out to be a really pale pink color, which I like. This is my newest one. It's Black Soot, and it's really dark black color. I use that on her hair. You can see how dark it is. It didn't lighten up at all. Sometimes when I use black watercolor paint, it dries kind of chalky, and it still isn't as dark black as I like. So I'm really surprised by how dark this black stays. Another color that I got recently is Mustard Seed. It's a really vibrant yellow. Here, I used it on this card here on her dress. And it can blend out to a really nice pale yellow color. And I love that it's super potent and dark, but it can blend really, really light. So if you don't like the super vivid yellow, Mustard Seed is a nice hue of yellow without being orange, and it does blend really well. So she's really nice. Yeah, I really love that color. It's a favorite yellow. I'm not a yellow, I don't use yellow a lot, but I really do like that color, so I wanted to try it out. This is Tighter Rose. I use this a lot for skin tones, just to start off with as a base. Old Paper I like. It's more green than what it's showing up on the paper. So if you see this swatched online, it's a green. It's not really, it doesn't really have a lot of brown in it. But it's still a nice color for like leaves. Okay. Okay, so these are the markers. I like the markers. I only have 4 because I'm not sold on buying them. I think if you have the reinkers, then you really don't need the markers. But I bought these a while back just to test them out, and because I really loved this color arrangement. So this is Victorian Velvet. I use Victorian Velvet, this purple color, on this dress here. And it's a nice purple without being, too bright, you know what I mean? And so this is Weathered Wood, the blue one, really nice blue. Frayed Burlap is a nice brownish green. And then this is a Tattered Rose. So I have Tattered Rose in the marker, the reinker, and the ink pad. So really nice. So I'm not really sold on the markers. I wouldn't recommend them if you have reinkers and ink pads. It's just kind of like just another thing to collect in a way. But yeah, they're not bad. They're good quality and everything. I just don't see the need to have them if you've got like everything else. Now this is the water brush. I don't like the water brush. Yeah, this is bad. The fine tip on it is nice, and that's why I bought it, because I really like the tip, how fine it is, and it's great for detail work. I don't like the barrel because when you fill it up, it gives the pen a steady drip, and so it's always wet, and you don't really have the freedom to use water, as much water as you want. It's I don't like it for that reason. It's easy to fill up, of course, but it just gives a steady drip, and you really can't control your water. So I use this brush without the water in it. I use it like a regular paintbrush because you can't, I don't know how to say this, but the detail that you can get with this is really, really nice. The bristle is really soft. It doesn't feel like an actual paintbrush. It's much softer. It does stain, as you can see, but it doesn't mess up anything. You know, it's just stained. It doesn't, the color will, isn't there, you know. So I like the brush for the detail work. I just don't like that the water brush, it gives you a steady drip of water, and you really can't control how much water you want. So if you can, and it's $10 just for this. If you can buy a cheaper water brush, like from, I know Hobby Lobby used to carry like a 3-pack. They went from medium to small, and it was like $6.99. I would buy that all day before I get another one of these. Just because I don't like that steady drip of water. I think it's a little too pricey, and I mean, it's just plastic, so I'm not really feeling this. I think you're just probably paying for the name if you buy this particular water brush. I'm not sold on it, so but the tip is a really nice tip. Okay, let's see. I'll show you guys some more samples. I colored this Tilda the other day. She's really tiny. So yeah, wasn't a lot to color. Her hair, as you can see, I used just the black soot ink. And hope you guys can see. I hope my lights aren't like super blinding you. Really nice colors. I used Walnut Stain for her little khaki colored pants, and Walnut Stain is a super dark brown. So I love that you can get so many different shades of a color using one ink pad or one ink color. Excuse my chair creaking. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the distressed paint. This is my first, nope, this is not my first paint dauber. I've had paint daubers before, but I had them in the metallic color. This one exploded on me. I can't even take it off. Let's see, it's all dried on. Yeah, look. The dauber, for some reason, just got stuck in there. When I first opened it, it wasn't even attached in there. It's always been in the top, the lid. So when I first got it, I got it out of the lid and I put it back in there. But it never stayed in there. I don't know if that's a defect or what. The color is okay. Again, I don't know if it's worth it to get. I would much rather take the re-inker and put it in some gesso, to be honest with you. The paint daubers are about the same price as the re-inker. I just don't, it's another product that I think, if you have the other, mediums, you might not need the paint dauber. I don't know. I wish it was in like a canister or like a regular bottle. I don't like the dauber thing on it. So that's that. But this color is really pretty. I have it in the ink pad, and that's what made me want to try the paint, because I loved the ink color so much. And it's true to the color on here. It's a true color. So anyway, that's my review on distress inks. I hope you guys found this informative. If you want to see a start to finish coloring with it, more detailed coloring, showing you guys how I color with distress inks, I will more than happy do that for you. Just let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.